53-year-old man, disgusting, pathetic piece of crap, impregnated the 16-year-old girl, and she has been with him ever since. When I tell you my heart hurts, and the fact that this is on like age gap love, she is a victim. This should be on the fucking police station. I'm so confused. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jam, and today I thought it would be interesting to talk about a show I watched recently that is titled Age Gap Love, that is from 2014, and
what an interesting artifact.
We've always seen people in recent times speak about this, showcase this, and just even influence some people to participate in this type of dating, where you're dating someone younger than you or older than you, respectively. But before all of this, there was a TV show, and some couples decided they should showcase their dynamics of their age gap relationships. And in some parts, it does get dark pretty fast. But I bet you didn't even know that there were words to even describe people who partake in this form of dating. So there are 3 words I want, well, I guess I could do 4 words that I want to define for you for people who participate in this. So for an older woman, she would be considered a cougar if she wants a younger partner. An older man apparently is considered a puma. I don't know. So that's still a lady actually. A woman also is called a puma too. So apparently there is a word for dudes. I did not know this. There are some people like who are being funny, talking about there isn't a word because it's been standard for dudes who go after younger women. Anyways, there is an actual word for it though. It is called a panther, or apparently it's been changed to manther. So these people are the older end on the spectrum of people who want to date in these relationships. And what would be the younger end for what these people who want to engage with older people, what are they called? Apparently there is a word for it, and they are called geronto. It is called gerontophilia. What exactly is that? It's characterized as a younger person who has a sexual preference for older individuals. So there's a word for it. And obviously, aside from those 4 words which should be in consenting relationships, we have the last one, which would be just a straight up PDF. As simple as it gets. Because I want to bring 2 stories that I heard that were very shocking to me. Both, unfortunately, do include that. And also, it is just very strange how these people can say this on TV. Like, a film crew came to your house and you just admitted to crimes? That's crazy. That's insane. But they did. Well, he did. Now, I wanted to review a lot of these people's episodes, but I thought these 2 would be a good match because they're 2 extremes, but it could show how you can partake in age gap love, obviously, apparently, and apparently be a cougar and find an individual who loves you no matter how old you are. And this could happen between 2 consenting adults. And then the other is an example that, as I was hearing him speak, it was very horrifying. And I just felt bad for this lady, and I just wanted to give her a hug. And I wanted to... I'm not going to say that, but he just sounds like a bad man to me. He does. So, the show is called Age Gap Love, and it's a television show that was released in 2014 that ventured into the world of age gap dating, where older women and men seek after younger partners. They also reveal lots of questions we, the listeners, have had about these people's stories, how their relationship originated or started, how they even met, and just the dynamics within their respective relationships and what it will be classified as. Obviously, we don't have to know these people's business, and you could argue that why does it matter, and why do you even care who or what these people are doing? But it's just very interesting how people will like admit certain things, and there will be just nothing, like no one could help these people. It's just like, yikes, that was the life they got.
No, God!
They call it on the show intergenerational love, which I thought was hilarious, but that's what it will be considered. And they discuss a lot about the bedroom. Like, some of these older people are like so horned up, and it's just very confusing. Like, why are you that horned up? I'm so confused. We're trying to talk about the dynamics of your relationship, and you're trying to make sure we know y'all get busy for some strange reason, as if we asked. But maybe the producers asked them and it just was chopped up to the wrong time sometimes. Because sometimes I was like, y'all are freaked out. Like, what are you doing? But hey, I'm glad they found their partners. Well, some of them. Some of them I'm glad they found their partners. And the second story I'm going to talk about is not within consenting adults. Because the first one I wanted to show what I think would be considered a positive story about this, although she had a sad background. When you think about it, she's not gonna say it's sad, but when I did the math, it seemed pretty sad to me. But one of these stories, it was so horrible, and seeing her face just hurt so bad. It just hurt so bad, and I'm just like, he's still holding on. I have no idea, but it's just like, I hope he does not, because like, it's just so horrific. But to start it off on a light note of how this can happen between consenting adults, I want to talk about the story of Joan, and she was in the second season, although that's what it's labeled on Prime. But you see these types of people in relationships and you hear about the dynamics like this, but it's so interesting seeing a show just based around it though. And so we're introduced to a woman in North Wales, and her name is Joan. She is 68, and when I said these people are freaked out sometimes, she is one of the reasons why, because in one of her confessionals, she is laid out on the bed in a low-cut dress, a little black dress to show off her boobs and a seductive pose, and I'm like, girl.
And they're absolutely turning around and looking at my boobs all the time.
She's a diva though. I gotta give her that. But I was like, girl, not you laid out. What are you doing? It was so funny. But she says that younger men are always staring at her, and that they always are looking at her breasts, and they're always asking her to wear sexy stuff because of her breasts. And I'm like, this is our introduction to you? Okay. And she says she was married for 50 years, but her husband passed 4 years ago. She is 68.
Joan's husband of 50 years died 4 years ago, and she doesn't want to be old, free and single. She wants to enjoy life and thinks a younger boyfriend is the answer.
50 years ago, which would be 4 years ago, because that's when he died, she would have been 64. 64, 50 years ago, that's 14. So this is why I'm like, some of these people talking about things so casually, it's actually pretty horrific, because it's like, when I do that math does not seem good. Please tell me you rounded up, because it doesn't seem good. Because at first I was like, oh, she got married right as she was 18. Of course, I guess she wants to be, young and turned, because at first she says that like now that her husband has passed, that she can go out and just have fun and stuff. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I guess because she got married at 18, and then they said that he died 4 years ago, and I'm like, would that mean she got married at 14?
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police!
I did not like that math. So then she was talking about how she wants to have experiences with young men, go on dates, and just have good sex. Like I said, freaked out, because why are you saying that, girl?
Now I want it, like I've always wanted, is to just be in a relationship, like with my first husband, go play games, go and have some meals, go out and walk, and be nice as well, and have good sex.
And her next scene is literally her in lingerie, and picking out lingerie and talking about all the different types of lingerie she has in her closet and how it looks on her. I'm like, girl.
Now that's fun. That is fun. When you put it on, they can eat it.
Oh my gosh. She leads with her sexuality. Okay. So they talk about how she is looking for, and they say it differently. They say she is looking for a toy boy, and she stated that when her husband was on his deathbed 4 years ago, him and her made a pact, and he said to make sure she gets her breasts done and to date younger men.
My husband actually said to me, and he was very ill. He was very ill. He was on his way of going to die. And he said, "Joe, please, now if I go now, would you get yourself a toy boy and get those boobs done? Please, I want you to do that for me. I'll be up there smiling at you if you've got another one again." So that was lovely.
Now, being that I did the math, I wonder if he meant a different age range than she actually went for. Because based off the math, it would have meant that they got married when she was 14. But, so I'm like, maybe she just rounded up for some strange reason. How many years they had been like married for. And it's more like 46 or something, like that's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. So, if not, so she says that she's looking for, being that they made this pact, she's looking for a toy boy. Since she's got her boobs done now, she has to fulfill the other half of the pact. Don't know. And she is doing some online chatting and like online dating, and it really is like the exact same. Like, it is the exact same as people describe online dating now, because she quite literally is trying to find people, and she talks about how they're just sending pictures of like their body parts to her against her will, or they're just talking about sex straight away when she just wants to have a conversation, go on a date or something. And I'm like, that's literally how people describe dating on dating apps now, and this was over 10 years ago.
been inundated with young men more keen to send her pictures of their private parts than to go on a date.
The ones I get on here, there's 14, but I've had more. Some of them are all right, but some of them aren't.
Almost 15. She is on these websites and all these dudes are like horned up talking about how hot she is and how much they like older women, and some of these messages are so freaked out. I'm like, why would you say that? You don't know her like that, but people still do that. So I guess it's not that crazy because it's more anonymous then than it is now, to be honest.
When they text me or go on my messages, they put very nude pictures for me to see. This one with all the muscles. He made me laugh because he's like a pin-up man. And he says to me, Defo, he said, I'd love to be with you. I said he's taking something or he's doing so too much in the gym.
They're like sending her pictures that against her will, and she just wants to have a conversation and she just wants to have fun and like go on dates and stuff, not just be intimate and keep it pushing. So she ends up going to this small personal gathering, and it's essentially a toy boy / cougar speed dating of 6 women and 5 men.
You what?
In North Wales, Joan has had enough of trying to find love on the internet. She has spent hours chatting online without going on any dates. So she's off to a Toy Boy Warehouse speed dating event in London, specifically for older women. They are all keen to give advice.
And I wouldn't trust any of them.
Well, this
That's why I've come to meet them face to face. I don't trust them online.
I'm new to it. But
They had gatherings. So before Age of Attraction was a thing, they had this. Like, what? But it was personally like made by people. And she was looking for a man now. So she traveled to go to this speed dating event. And because she is so tired from all this lust and all these people and just dating in general, and how these people just don't want real connections, and she just wants face-to-face interaction.
you meet people that can want to be with you, and then we start to chat a bit. And then I thought, well, chatting's all right doing, but at the end of it, I want to see them one-to-one.
So there's another woman after this event has wrapped up, because she's went through all the individuals. She likes some of them. One of them she kissed, but he left before they could even exchange information. So this other woman, she's like, her name is Gaynor, and she's 54, and she said that she was worried for Joan because she could tell that Joan relies on this attention from these younger men, and some of these guys cannot give her that emotional stability or constant validation that she wants, so it just sets her heart up for failure, essentially.
I'm a bit worried that there's someone she's looking for won't be in the really younger age group. I mean, I date younger men all the time, and you can't rely on them for that emotional stability. I don't tend to need it at the moment, and I feel she does, which makes me a bit worried about her, actually. I'm quite anxious.
So the next scene is her working out because she said that she needs to make sure she stay looking good, and then for some reason she talks about her sex drive. Like, this is why I'm saying, like, these other people in this show are constantly talking, like, freaked out, and I don't understand.
The sex drive has always been a good sex drive anyway.
Maybe these people asked them to say these things though, and they just like spliced it together. And she specifies how she is a cougar. Like, she says she is attracted to younger guys, and at this event she literally went for the youngest. I'm not sure what his age was, but it was like on the lower end of the 20s, I'm pretty sure. And she automatically wanted to go for the youngest, and it's like, that's concerning. That's very concerning. So after like this scene, we're cut to her. None of those matches made anything happen. And she just talks about how she wants to have in-person interactions again. So the next scene after that, she was talking about how she was walking on the street and she bumped into a guy on the street. And how they basically hit it off. And
Chance encounter on the street may be the answer to Joan's dreams.
When I bumped into him, just like that, I was looking into his eyes, he was looking into mine, and I thought, oh my goodness me. I was so quick, and I thought, this is him.
Joan's been trying to find a man in his 20s, but it turns out this new 40-something beau is far more romantic.
how usually she goes for people who are 19 to 20. Mind you, she is 68 years old. That's concerning. That's more than concerning. However, luckily, ultimately, she ends up finding this man and they hit it off. And although he still is way younger than her by 20 years, 21 years to be exact, she ends up finding this 47-year-old. And they hit it off, and she talks about how sweet he is, how caring, how he fulfills what she is looking for, while also, I guess, bringing that younger spirit or energy she's looking for. I don't know.
Doesn't want to be identified on camera, but things are going well.
He's so lovely. He's a gentleman for me. He just holds my hand. He kisses me no matter if anybody's looking at us.
But she talks about this, and it's actually, because I do have my reserved thoughts about age gap relationships because of the story like the second one. But this first one, I'm like, that makes sense. Like 47, 68, obviously your relationship is none of my business. Like you know, it does not matter. But if I was to give my input, that makes sense. And it doesn't seem bad either, of like, you know, how even though there is an age gap, at least you're well into your adulthood, you've fully developed some capacity. There is no vulnerability necessarily, especially if you're cognitive, because she's 68, but she still is. Like, she is still feeling free. So there's nothing about her that seems like she is on the decline or anything, so I wouldn't be taking advantage of her either. Like, these are two considerate adults, luckily. However, my next story that I watched showcases what it's like for a PDF to essentially get away with their crimes. No! So another story in that same episode we are showcased is a man named Joe, who is also 68, and I chose these two people because they're the same age on purpose, because it just shows like the vast difference in predatory behavior. And we're showcased to Joe, who is 68, and Nicola, who is 30. Now on the surface, that's a big age gap. 38 years? It is, but at surface value, like, it doesn't seem like that bad because she's 30. However, and it's really funny, the narrator points out that she's young enough to be his granddaughter. I thought that was really silly. The layout of their story is extremely sad and so predatory, and it's just insane how this PDF was able to get away with his crimes. No! He got away with his crimes. No! So their first scene is them fishing, and the narrator says that they've known each other since she was a teenager. That is so extremely important, because when they say teenager, the age they mean is insane.
Who has known Nicola ever since she was a teenager.
When me and Nicola first got together, I was 53 and Nicola was
16.
So he recounts first getting together with Nicola and way of a relationship. I'm assuming that means sex because of what else we find out. When she was between the ages of 15 to 16, because he said he was 53.
I don't need to deliberate. Hang that nigga now.
53. Preying on a 15 to 16-year-old girl.
Police! Police! Help! Police!
And when he is telling this story, she is just like looking out into nowhere. And it's just like, she is just staring off into the distance, and sometimes she doesn't even have a reaction, even though some of the things he's saying are like so horrific, but it's her normal. Because he is looking directly at the camera, recounting their like first interaction and stuff, and she's just looking at the ground, looking out into nowhere, and it was just so uncomfortable, and I just wanted to give her a hug. So he says that they first got together when she was 15 to 16, and I say 15 to 16 because he says 16. I see it potentially may have been 15 because he says that he was 53, and if he was 53, that was 15 years ago, and she is 30, so I'm assuming she will be 15 unless their birthdays are just off on some reason. But that math seems like she was 15.
I'm very angry.
And he is looking straight into the camera. And apparently they first met when she was 13 because she used to do a paper route, and something happened with her bike, and she knew his nephew. So his nephew asked him, can he help fix her like bike for her? And ever since then, because he was able to, she would go back over there, but she would hang out with his nephew. But clearly there was some predatory behavior happening once we understand the timeline of what they're describing.
First met Joe through his nephew. I did a paper round at the age of 13.
Because I got so sick to my stomach hearing him talk about this. And he has been married before, and he has multiple children already. By the time she was 15 to 16, he talks about how it was one day he felt like it was now or never, so he needed to confess his feelings for her. And he tells her, mind you, a 53-year-old grandpa talking about to a 15 to 16-year-old child, teenager, tells her, I really like you.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
A 53-year-old man telling a 15 to 16-year-old girl, I really like you. Like, you fucking creep. Like, actually, you pathetic creep. Like, what are you talking about?
So I just turned around and said to him, look, I really like you, you know that, do you like me?
So then he says from his recount of the story, because like I said, sometimes when he's like talking, she has no reaction. It's like she's there, but she's not there. Because he says, and he asked, does she like him? He asked her this. A 15 to 16-year-old. A 53-year-old man is asking this teenager, does she like him? And he says, and her face lit up, and she says, I like you too. I wanted to throw up in my mouth. Like, actually, I wanted to throw up in my mouth.
She went, oh yeah, so you never seen her face light up so much.
Like, I doubt that's actually how those events happen, but that's the story, and he's sticking to it. Because like I said, she didn't really have reactions, but sometimes she would like smile, but I think she smiled like twice throughout that whole story, and it was just really creepy. Because a 53-year-old man talking about, I really like you, 15, 16-year-old girl.
Police! Police!
Age gap love, mind you. like, this is what people think happens, and this is what actually does happen. And this is why some people are very much against it. But I was able to show you an example of like a woman who was doing that and eventually was ultimately ended up with a consenting adult and did not have to have the horrible fate like this woman had to go through. Because it's like insane hearing this man talk about this woman, right? Because it's like, this woman is a victim. And it's just so strange having him describe how he preyed on this girl when she was younger and now she's a woman, but how he preyed on her.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Looking straight into the camera. Like I said, I don't believe her face lit up or anything like he lied and said. I'm gonna say it's a lie. Maybe, I'm not even gonna fucking lie like that. It did not happen because this man is a predator, and I refuse to believe that this girl face lit up. She was probably scared as hell. And while he is telling this, she is just like fidgeting, you know. And when she does finally talk, she said, people believe age gaps can't work, but if you want it and fight for it, then it's bound to work actually.
People are under the illusion that a young girl going out with an older man, it don't work. But at the end of the day, if you really want something, you'll go for it and you'll fight for it.
I don't know what that means, but it's not looking too good based off these numbers of their relationship. He said some nights he expected the police or someone to knock on the door and ask what was going on, but they sadly didn't.
At a point when I half expected the police or somebody to come and knock on my door and ask me what was going on. But there was just something about Nicola, I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't.
But even he understood the fact that he could say he expected the police to come, but unfortunately nobody did, not only aches me to my core and hurts my heart, but also scares me because that lets you know he understands how disgusting he is, but he still chose to do this and suffer no consequences. He said there was something about Nicola that he couldn't help himself, which he should automatically have been put in jail, because he said there was something about him that about her when they first met that he could not take his eyes off of her.
I did a paper round at the age of 13.
She was 13 when they first met. By those numbers, she was 13, he was 50. By the time he was 53, she was 15 to 16. Sir. Actually, like, what are you talking about? Like, actually, hello? Like, what? And they got married 2 years after getting together, which would make her 18. But like I said, I believe they swapped that timeline some, because based off the numbers when he says his age though. But maybe, like I said, their birthdays or something. And he was like how he wanted to get married from the time they met. She was 13 when they met.
No, God! No, God!
He like chuckled after saying that too. And she had no reaction to that.
2 years later, Joe and Nicola became age gap husband and wife. Nicola was just 18 years old.
I think we wanted to get married from the day we met. It just seemed that way.
She was just looking at the ground. And he was just talking, and she was just staring off into space. And another thing that's like really scary is by the time they got married, it is so casually glossed over that by the time they got married, she had already had their first child.
Nicola was married when she was 18. She'd already given birth to her first child with Joe, and she's now a full-time mum to 4 kids.
And at first it's not revealed when she had their first child, but now they have 4 kids total. And she's a full-time mom, even though I'm pretty sure he's retired, so I guess maybe that's Social Security hidden or something. But after it's her turn again, she speaks, and she says, I can see why people said that I was too young and it was wrong for me to get pregnant. And she was just like not even making eye contact with the camera like he did. She was just like staring off into nothing, speaking. And then she goes, for people that do want children at the age of 16, then they should be respected for it. So at first we're not told how old she had her first child. We're just told by the time they got married, she had already had a baby.
I can see why people said that I was too young and it was wrong for me to get pregnant. For the people that are out there that do want children at the age of 16, then they should be respected for it.
This 53-year-old man, disgusting, pathetic piece of crap, impregnated this 16-year-old girl, and she has been with him ever since. When I tell you my heart hurts, and the fact that this is on like age gap love, she is a victim. This should be on the fucking police station. I'm so confused. What? Like, that is just so horrible.
Hang that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
She had already had their first child.
I don't need to deliberate. Hang that nigga now. I got the rope.
And their 8-year-old son is the only one who is like speaking, because they have 4. They have a 22-month-old. They don't say the ages of the other 2, but they say they have 4 children now. But the 8-year-old is the one who makes like a cameo in the show, and he talks about how kids at his school make fun of him for it and laugh at him because his dad is old and his mother is so much younger. And it's like, it's insane that this little boy is getting laughed at because his mother is a victim.
Embarrassing because the kids at school laugh because my mum's 30, my dad's 70. There's a big difference to that.
To a predator. And I just don't understand like where her parents were to help get her out of this, because this is just so sad. And her, like, their son gets made fun of because of their disgusting father, and luckily people have called him out though. Like this show, he talks about how kids like make fun of him about it, and actual like adults also make fun of, not to the child, he doesn't say, but like the next scene, adults make comments about their relationship too to his face. And he said that he has been called a PDF, and they say that he should have gotten cut off. And
I've got lots of negative stuff like you're a paedophile and you should have gotten cut off and all that rubbish. And nothing ever happened between me and Nicola until she was of an age anyway.
The controversy.
And somehow he still believes that he is not. He does not believe that he is a PDF. Because he quite literally says nothing happened with Nicola until she was of age. He didn't say until she was a legal consenting adult. He said of age.
I don't need to deliberate. Hang that nigga now.
And he has the audacity to not understand how people could think he's disgusting. Really? You don't get how people could think you're disgusting? Are you sure? Are you positive you can't think of it? I'm having a hard time. I am. Because how can you say this and then list out the events of how you guys interacted and think you're an okay, decent person? You're a piece of crap human being who I don't even understand how you've been so slimy and gotten away with it. And he has children, Joe has children from a previous marriage that apparently ended. And his middle child, who is only 1 year older than Nicola, which makes him 31, has cut all ties with his dad because he disapproves of how disgusting his dad is.
My middle son, who is only a year difference between him and Nicola, he doesn't talk to him anymore now, and is no wish to do so.
And I'm like, how can your son have more sense than you? That's crazy to me. How can your son be more level-headed than you are? Because you're a piece of crap. You are like so disgusting. And he is retired, so he is like up there in age, and apparently he also has a condition called angina, and so he has like a heart condition. So being that he's elderly, when he got up to the top of the stairs, sometimes he feels like he's gonna die because of how like demanding it is on him. And so his 8-year-old talks about how sad it is that he can't do activities with him because of his dad's bad heart, and how he can't like play football, he can't play games with him necessarily outside, he can't do sports with him, all those things because he has a bad heart. And Joe says that he wishes that he could do those things, but ultimately he can't because of his age, and he just can't, like it's not safe for him. So he says that he just hopes that he could stay alive long enough to be able to see his 22-month-old as a teenager.
You what?
That's really sad. That's like really sad that he has to plan because of his age, which makes sense, but that his child can only see him till a teenage age. And he is trying to work out with Nicola in the next scene to help like elongate his lifespan, because he wants to make sure that he can like stay alive long enough, being that his his child is so young, and he wants to lose weight because clinically he is classified as obese. I think they said he's 86 kgs and he was 163 centimeters or 5'4", and so he wants to lose some weight to elongate his lifespan. And then the last scene is Joe describing Nicola, and it's just like so creepy because he says she is my wife, my friend, my soulmate, and someone who puts up with him.
Not only is my wife, she's my friend, she's my soulmate, and also somebody that puts up with me.
And the reason why I call it creepy is because he didn't describe it as someone I preyed on and successfully captured.
Hang that nigga now. I got the rope
And
right here.
I just wanted to showcase how insane and how jarring these stories are to be on the same television show, showcasing the inter-realities of age gap love. And how horrifying it could be for some people, and how Nicola, I hope wherever you are that you are able to get out of that and that you finally have peace. Like genuinely I do, because my heart hurts for her. Like she never had a chance, and it just sucks that she got preyed on and was successful. And more people should be, although Joan was trying to go after 19 and 20-year-olds, more people need to be like Joan. Ultimately, my point is, when it comes to age gap relationships, people have this terrible gut feeling about it because of the show recently made called Age of Attraction, because of horrifying stories when people actually talk about how they became a couple. And more people should not be like Joan's first marriage at all, because that math actually made it add up to where she got married really young too and was preyed on. However, when she did get her, now she's free and able to be like living her life, she ultimately made the decision to date younger people, but she was able to make a connection with a man who was 47. That's amazing. The fact that that's never people's mindset. Like, this man was in this other story, which was horrific, was 53 preying on 15 to 16-year-olds, just drawing different. But it's age gap love, unfortunately. The last thing I'm gonna say is, I hope Joan lived her best life and her and that man had a good life. And if people were to do age gap like that, most people would not care. And I guess you could say you should not care about other people's relationship, but even still, like, there are some horror stories, and I just wish Nicola would get the peace that she deserves away from that scary man. I actually do plan on reviewing more of these couples because some of them are actually not bad representation, and I'm like, if we saw more examples of this, most people would not care about age gap loves. But the scary thing is, we hear and see the second story. Predatory people. So thank you so much for watching. If you ever watched this show, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll get you my next one.